On this episode, we're going to start a gun safety series. I am an avid hunter. I'm also a gun collector. And I'll put a few pictures of my guns up. Today I brought with me two different rifles, and first thing that we're going to cover is safe handling of a gun. There are three rules, basic rules, for handling a gun. Rule number one is the golden rule. Always assume that a gun is loaded. Always. That is very important. Under no circumstances should you consider a gun to be unloaded. When you consider them to be unloaded, you make mistakes and you end up setting them off. So, number one, golden rule, a gun is always loaded. No. Rule number two, always know where your barrel is pointed. And I mean always. If this thing goes off, you want to know where that bullet's going to go. And I'm going to give you an example. In this case, barrel's here, it's pointed that way. Out that way, if it was to go off, it would put a hole in my back of my table. It would put a hole in my wall. It would go through the wall and out that direction. Now, 150 yards that direction, the land actually goes up about 10 feet. So at about 150 yards, there's nothing out there. That bullet would go into the ground. If the barrel was pointed that direction and the gun went off, it would go through the wall. Right to the other side of that wall is my pickup truck. It would go into my pickup truck. Matter of fact, the bullet from this rifle would probably go through the tailgate, through the back of the cab, through the front of the cab, and crack the block of the pickup. They do have power to them. If I pointed it towards the camera, assuming it didn't hit the camera, about 100 yards that way there's an easement that people drive down from time to time. So that's not that bad, but it's still a safety thing. If I was pointing it this way behind me, there's 5-6 miles of wooded area and it probably wouldn't do any damage. So that may be a good way to point it as well. But for now, I'm pointing it this way because I know where that bullet's going to go. Rule number three, never put your finger on the trigger of the gun until you're ready to fire. So those are basic rules for handling a weapon.